watching America Trends. I am Mary Burt-Godwin, and I am pumped up for this next guest. One of my favorites here on America Trends, friend of the show, Trew, Improv Comedy Coach from Hell Yes Creative. Welcome back to the show, Trew, my buddy.
Hey everybody, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. How are we doing?
Hey, we're doing great. We are doing great. As I said, I'm pumped up for you to be here. Before I dive into all the questions I have for you, I want to find out, because I know you're a basketball fan, I want to find out if you've seen the movie Air.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to ask me about my precious New Orleans Pelicans, and I was already sad.
I saw you get kind of sad there, but you were in the moment. You listened to my question, and then you pivoted. So pivot, you see my basketball reference. So we won't talk about the Pelicans. I know your beloved Pelicans, but I want to see if you saw Air. Have you seen that movie?
I have not seen the movie Air, but many people have asked me if I've seen it. So I feel like my brand is strong, my personal brand.
Your personal brand is strong.
Are checking in with me. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb and say that I think you're going to really like the movie. And I think everyone should go see this movie. It is the story of the Air Jordan sneaker and how Nike came about creating it and putting, betting on Michael Jordan. And it's a great movie, and it's Matt Damon and Ben Affleck back together again, plus Jason Bateman. Anyway, it's got comedy. This is one of the reasons I thought of you, because it's comedy and basketball combined, which is your brand, right?
It sure is. And hey, while we're on the subject, if there were Mary Burt-Godwin shoes, I would buy them. I would have them on right now.
This is Bianca. Could you get on that? Could you get Nike on the horn and get me some Mary Burt-Godwin America Trend sneakers? I think I need them for sure.
Hey, you get the new MBGs?
That's right.
I got the new MBGs.
You're onto something, Chris. I like it. So, okay, I just love having you on. I feel like we could just talk for the whole segment, but I want to talk about something that entrepreneurs and business owners can take home and why they need to come hire you to help them do it. I want to talk about, number one, how does improv help business owners prepare for the unexpected, which happens invariably day to day when, especially you're starting a new business, the unexpected may happen. So how can working with you and learning improv help them with this?
Yeah, for sure. Great question. Love talking about this kind of thing. So improv basically teaches you how to stay not only in the moment, but to accept the curveballs life throws at you, and how to not just accept them, but to incorporate these mistakes or these, bad things and grow from them and use them as examples of ways to problem solve in your business. So it's like improv is an active exercise that gives you the same tools you need to be a successful entrepreneur, because that's probably the biggest thing that entrepreneurs have to deal with, which is like the uncertainty of day to day, right?
Yeah.
That's why most people aren't entrepreneurs, because they want the safety of, I have to go to work at this time and I leave at this time and someone tells me what to do. Entrepreneurship is much more random than that. So why not learn a random art form?
I totally agree. And this is maybe off the subject, but it was also reminding me of this because I was just listening to a podcast with Matthew McConaughey, and he was talking about dealing with shame or things that have happened and maybe uncertain things and maybe, things that came up in his life. And he's like, I shake hands with it. I shake hands with the shame and kind of make a pact with it. Like, I'm not going to be sad about it or this or that about it. It's just like, let's just shake and be like, this happened, move forward. And I think that it's in a kind of way you need to deal with that in an improv thing. And also in life and in unexpected moments, you got to say, okay, I'm going to shake hands with this thing that just happened and threw me for a loop and move forward.
Yeah, I love that. To me, that shaking hands, that's the yes.
Yeah.
That's accepting it.
Hell yes.
I'm not fighting this. I'm saying yes to it. And when people who have watched me on your show before, they know what I mean when I say yes and. When you yes and something, not only do you accept it, but you are immediately building off of it. So yeah, that sounds good. I love that. I love shaking hands with it. That's really good.
It's a good life lesson, that yes and. I tell you, I use it all the time, mostly with my teenage daughters who want me, my first thought is to not say yes and, but I get there eventually. And I want to talk to you about something you have on your feed. You were talking about a book called Turning Pro. And professionals have this drive to just do it. And I feel like that's a scary thing, as we were mentioning, which is what improv helps with. How would you encourage people to kind of get over that fear and just do it, whether it's on the stage or wherever it might be in life? How do you encourage people to do that?
Yeah, I think you have to get creative with how you're approaching your fear. I think the easiest thing in the world is to say, this thing scares me, so it's easy for me to not do it. And it's like, great. Well, I don't know. I think you're gonna have a hard time experiencing life if that's your default setting. So you have to figure out a way to wrap your head around. No, the fear is a good thing. Like, what's on the other side of this fear? And for my domain, the kind of fear I deal with mostly is fear of being on stage in front of people. Most people are they see what I'm doing and they say, "Oh, that sounds great," but I'm not an actor. I'm not a comedian. I don't want to get on stage and do this. And so I have to coach them and guide them to to get over that fear in a creative way so that they can get to the good stuff. Because I think most people are afraid of turning pro and whatever that means in their in their chosen field or hobby or whatever. And turning pro mostly just means using the fear to your advantage, or understanding that there's something really beautiful on the other side of that fear.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a quote, and I don't recall who said it, but I have it on my board, that says, "Everything you've ever wanted, it is on the other side of fear." And I feel like that is exactly what you're saying. And there is so much fear, but it's a lot of times, another podcast I listened to was Simon Le Bon. He was talking about the fear before he performs. And he's like, those butterflies, it's actually just excitement and utilizing it to just fuel the movement.
Yeah. Look, Mary, one of my favorite things I get to explain to people whenever they take all my improv classes and they go and do their first ever show and they're all backstage and they're really nervous. I know it's going to work because I've seen it work every single time. They don't know that it's going to work yet because it's their first ever improv show. But the most fun thing about that experience is that they will never be as nervous as they are in that moment. And I think that is something that's really precious and beautiful, and that never truly goes away. And when I work with experienced comedians, I tell them, like, you should be looking for the next show that does make you nervous, because when you perform every single week for months and months and months, it starts to feel like this is just what you do. And so you actually have to intentionally seek out performance opportunities that do make you nervous. So is that a different venue? Is that a brand new set? Is that in front of people you never performed for before? You have to figure out ways to keep yourself on your toes. Otherwise, your creative skills will atrophy.
Right. And that's what life is all about. It's the next challenge. I'm just thinking, I don't know why this popped into my mind, but when I get nervous and I'm doing something or I'm speaking somewhere, a lot of times I'll finish and I'll say, I just totally blacked out. I have no idea what I just said. But I feel like I was very in the moment and living my best life and whatever it might be. And someone says, oh, that was great what you said. And I said, I don't even remember. But do you feel that ever and get that? It was almost like a blackout, but I feel like I was present in the blackout.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's a really bizarre feeling, but I think it's ultimately good because it means you are out of your head.
Yes.
And when you are truly out of your head for a long time, when you're in the zone on stage or in the meeting and the conversation, whatever, it's actually a really good thing when you feel like, oh my God, what just happened? I just blacked out, because it means you're not used to spending that much time out of your head. So much time is spent being in our head. So it's so foreign when you're not. So I say, I vote yes, more blackouts. More blackouts.
More blackouts. Yeah, I don't do the other kind of blackouts anymore. I don't drink. But I've had a few.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean though.
No.
It's like,
this is a good kind of blackout.
Let's take back the word blackout.
Yes.
Let's make blackout a good thing.
Maybe the MBG sneaker is going to somehow incorporate the good kind of blackout.
Here,
how are we going to do it?
Take my money.
We need
take my money. Take my money. Take my money.
I love you. I have so many more questions, and I know we're running out of time. I met you through team building, so just give me one plug for why improv is good for team building before we wrap up here.
Look, there are so many different things you can do for team building if you want to give your company a fun event to just break from the norm. But like, why not do something that will not only have everyone laughing, but will have everyone connecting in a new and interesting way. And it will leave you with like some really tangible skills that can increase productivity and communication at your business. So it's like, yeah, happy hour's fine. The ropes course is fine. The escape room, I get it. It can be fun, but an improv class really is funny. It's transformative. It's accessible. You could do it on a Zoom call. You could do it in person.
I want to do it. Everyone should call you and hire you right now to do team building and or coach them, because we love you. Chris Trew, creative coach, comedy coach from Hell Yes Creative. Hell yes, I'm going to get an MBG sneaker out of this. And we're going to have Chris Trew back again soon. You're watching America Trends, and we will be back right after this quick